Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we are doing some damage. Got my Harbor Freight grinder and N95s. It's about to get dusty. So my plan is to go tackle these things. So we're gonna clear out this whole area, grind it all off to the metal. Anywhere where there's reactions, problems, all the stuff where it needs to be grinded off. Also on this side, this whole bottom side is gonna need to go, and then on the front there's a big dent right here, so we're gonna grind it off, and then we're gonna use a puller, one of these slider pullers, and get all these dents out, kind of like this one right here. They couldn't get the dent out or whatnot, or they didn't have a puller when they were restoring it, and they just bundled this big dent, and you can't get underneath there from this side because there's double layer metal. But we're gonna clean it out and pull it all out and go on from there. Alright, so I cleared out all this, and there's just this big dent right here. And then over here, you can see, that is a lot of Bondo. Doesn't break off. Big dent right here. So we're just gonna keep going and just strip all this Bondo out. Alright, so I'm on this side now, and I thought the roof was bad. This thing is terrible. Starters, look at all that Bondo. There's at least almost half an inch of Bondo in here. We got holes right here, and I just started, so let's see what else we can find. Guys, check it out. So I removed a good gallon of Bondo off this thing. We got a big dent right here. They just filled it with Bondo, and then we got all this rust right here. It's pretty bad. They already patched this up. You can see the welds right here, and then you got a hole right here, and then so they were trying to patch this and here and here. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this yet. Think about it, come back. Probably have to cut it out like this and repatch it, because this is pretty bad. Alright, so I'm going to use this Lenco machine, get one of these new pieces, install it, and start pulling all these dents out. Alright, so we got the dent pulled out, weld through a little bit, too much heat. It's not an issue, gotta weld it up later. Also got this dent out. Now I'm gonna move on to the front. Alright, so I got all the stands pulled out. And then all around here, here. And the whole front. Got it mostly pulled out pretty good. I don't have my welder with me, so I can't spot weld where there's little holes from the spot welder. So what I'm gonna do is get 220 sandpaper and just start sanding this whole thing, taking off all this and anywhere, just mostly just sanding the whole thing 220. I'm gonna leave this for a different day because a lot of that's gonna have to get welded, re-welded. And so we're just gonna start from the front and just start sanding it all the way. Alright, so check this out. We got a big dent right here. They just put a bunch of Bondo on top. And all these dents. And then we got rust, holes. So this quarter panel's bad. Here's bad. This side doesn't look too bad because I can just stick my hand underneath and feel it, and I don't feel any bumps. As to on this side, I don't know why they couldn't just stick their hand in here and just press over here, but they just decided to Bondo it. But when I press right here, there's a hole, so this metal is just shit. I'm gonna have to re-weld it. And then moving on, I got a bunch of us started sanding down the roof, this side. I'm taking a lot of that red paint off because there's a lot of dents. Like right here, there's a dent. It's slight little one. And then you got metal here, here, and here. But and I'm using 80 grit sandpaper. I thought I would get away with 220, but we're all the way down to 80, which is not a bad start. But yeah, so that's the update so far. Continue taking stuff apart and seeing what else I find, because this car is full of surprises. Alright, so I'm back. I brought my welder, my tank. I'm gonna weld up all these spot welds, the holes that I got from pulling the string out, and then some over there, and then hop on the other side and start figuring out what to do with that quarter panel. And we're most likely gonna go, look at that, perfect fit. Just found this piece in my pile of scrap. So just gonna start off with this to see how it welds, because every metal welds differently, and go on from there. Alright, so as you guys can see, somebody already put patch in here before, and they did a wonderful job, and we're gonna help them out and redo it. Up here the metal is good. Down below here there's not much rust, so it's pretty good. A lot of the rust is just right here. So the idea is to cut this out and then get one of these and shape it to what we want, and go on from there. So for the most part, I am done with welding this little piece in. If you notice, I was using my puller, and I use my puller just to heat the metal and shape it, because the more you heat it, the more you can play with it. And then use a water bottle to cool it off, and then that way it takes its form. That way, if you look, it's all nice and smooth. And it's all ready for Bondo. I'll be putting fiberglass Bondo on my first layer, and then on the back side I'm gonna bed line it. That way there's no exposures if there's pin size, needle size holes or whatnot. And now I gotta do something about this quarter panel. Alright, so I cut out this piece right here, shaped it, and welded it all in. Now I gotta play around with this a little bit. Got this big dent out, and then that should be it. Oh, and weld up these little holes. So